7 days, zero animal products. Let's see how this changes my strength, my energy, and my sanity. I'm going vegan. I've always been a huge meat eater. Meat is everywhere. It's cheap, it's easy, it tastes good, and for most of us, it's completely normal. We grow up with it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, meat is just there. And because it's so normal, we almost never stop and think about what must happen in the background for it to be this accessible. Meat industry. When we say meat industry, we are mostly talking about huge industrial farms where thousands of animals are raised in one place as cheaply and as fast as possible. A lot of animals never see real grass or sunlight. They live in big sheds, crammed next to each other, bred just to grow fast, gain weight, and be sent to slaughter while they are still really young. They are treated more like production machines than living beings. And once you see that, it's hard to unsee it. These massive farms produce a lot of greenhouse gases like methane that heat up the climate. All the manure and waste can pollute rivers and soil, and a huge amount of land is used just to grow feed for animals instead of food directly for people. When you add everything together, the real cost of cheap meat looks a lot higher than the price tag in the store. Now let me be clear, not all meat is the same. There are many good sources. Local farmers, small farms, people who actually care about how animals are raised. That kind of meat is on a completely different level. Ethically, environmentally, and quality-wise, and I respect that a lot. But let's be honest, that's not where most of our meat comes from. But instead of overthinking it and just talking about it, I decided to actually try something myself. So for the next 7 days, I'm tracking how being vegan affects my strength, my energy, my digestion, my mood, and my training. Let's see if going vegan makes me feel amazing, or if I just slowly turn into a depressed rabbit. Today is Wednesday, and I've got my first BJJ competition on Saturday, and I need to make weight. So because of this reason, I'm only going to eat around 2000 calories per day, which should be working for me. The rules for this week are simple. Zero animal products, keep calories under control, train normally, and try to not cry when I walk past a kebab place. After this competition, I'm removing the calorie limit and we'll do a big vegan cheat day together so I can actually enjoy some good vegan food. Day 1 was definitely the hardest one, mostly because everything was new and I was still figuring things out, especially while cutting weight. For breakfast I kept it close to my usual routine. Some days I eat oat flakes, other days, like today, rye flakes. I had them with walnuts and banana, and instead of cow milk I used unsweetened hazelnut milk. I also added some vegan chocolate, which was actually surprisingly really good. The only thing missing was protein. I normally add protein powder to my porridge, but I didn't have a vegan one yet, so I skipped it on the first day. This breakfast came out to roughly 700 calories. After breakfast, I cooked my lunch. It was pretty simple: shirataki noodles with tofu and vegetables mixed with some basic sauce and some walnuts. Shirataki noodles are almost 0 calories, so they were perfect for cutting weight before the competition. I also had a glass of juice with this meal. I ate the same thing again for dinner. One portion was about 500 calories with around 20 grams of protein. Not great, not terrible. After lunch, I went cold plunging in the lake. It felt completely normal, which made sense. I couldn't really expect any changes after these 2 vegan meals. I only had one snack that day, soy yogurt with walnuts. By the end of the day, I finished at around 1900 calories total. Overall, day 1 wasn't perfect. Protein was definitely on the lower side, and I felt it especially after breakfast. But it was still a solid start, and definitely not as hard as I expected it to be. On the second day, I had the same breakfast as yesterday. Still no vegan protein though. That's when I realized I didn't actually have enough plant-based food at home, so a grocery run was mandatory. What surprised me the most was how different the store suddenly felt. I noticed entire shelves I'd never paid attention to before. Plant milks, tofu, vegan spreads, Yeah, it was funny how all of this had always been there and I just never looked at it before. For lunch, I kept it simple. I didn't have much time to cook, so I made sweet potatoes with seasoned tofu. I was honestly pretty suspicious about this meal. The tofu looked dry, boring, and kind of depressing, like something you only eat because you have to. But I was pleasantly surprised. It was actually full of flavor and way better than I expected. That meal came out to around 600 calories. Later that day, we trained with some friends for the BJJ competition. It was a solid session and I felt good the whole time. I had enough energy, I didn't feel weak, and the food set really well even with low calorie intake. Dinner was simple. I knew I couldn't eat too many calories and I also needed to study a lot, so I went with something quick but still tasty, rye crisp bread with hummus. Alright, we are on day 3 of the vegan week. First of all, I feel really good. Even though I'm cutting weight for the competition, I don't feel any hungrier than usual, which surprised me because I thought plants would leave me starving by the lunch. The food, okay, I'll be honest, it doesn't look amazing, but that's maybe because I cooked it. But everything tastes really good and I've been enjoying these meals way more than I expected. On the third day, I woke up pretty late, so I skipped breakfast and went straight to cooking lunch. That lunch was more calorie dense than the previous days and also significantly higher in protein, coming in just over 1100 calories with around 50 grams of protein. For dinner, I kept things simple again. I had tofu with shirataki noodles, similar to what I ate on the first day. On the fourth day, I didn't track calories at all, it was competition day. If you want to see how it went, I'm working on a separate video about it, so make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss it. Food-wise, nothing was drastically different from the previous days. The only new thing I tried was falafel, something most vegans absolutely love, and honestly for me, it was kind of mid. Alright guys, day 5 of being vegan is here. Yesterday was my BJJ competition and I won't go into any details because I'm making a separate video about that. But I didn't track any macros yesterday. Honestly, I was a bit worried about starting my vegan week before the competition and I didn't know how I would feel, but everything feels great. And yeah, now that the competition is over, I'm bumping the calories to 3000, which sounds great. And today I'm gonna make some chick style fillet pieces, which seems like they are full of protein and yeah, they're gonna be delicious. And just like I said, these vegan chicken style pieces were delicious. I made them with spaghetti, peanut butter and sesame seeds. It wasn't anything fancy, but so far this was definitely my favorite vegan meal. I didn't really try anything new that day, I mostly stuck to the same foods, just in bigger portions. After a few days of eating lighter, it actually felt great to finally eat more and focus on recovery. By the end of the day, I finished at around 3000 calories. For the cheat day, I took my friend to a restaurant called Vegalite. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but if you're ever in Brno, Czech Republic and you're looking for vegan food, this is definitely the place to go. We had soup, a vegan version of fried Dutch cheese and some plant-based meat dishes. The food was great and the service was probably the best part. Super friendly, super welcoming, one of those places where you just feel good being there. Later that evening I also had judo training and after a full cheat day I felt really good, full of energy and not heavy at all. For dinner I decided to order food instead of cooking and I ordered a few plant-based burgers from Burger King. And to be honest, I was a little disappointed. Taste-wise, they were fine, and if someone gave them to me without telling me, I probably wouldn't even notice the difference between regular one and plant-based ones. But delivery took way too long, the burgers weren't fresh anymore, and I'm not even 100% sure if they were fully vegan or just vegetarian. So yeah, not the best way to end an otherwise great cheat day, but overall, it was still a really solid finish to the week. My vegan week is finally over, and I can honestly say that it was good. I've learned a lot, not only about the meat industry, but also about vegan food and vegan lifestyle in general. Did I feel different? Yes, but not that different. The biggest change for me was digestion. I felt like I was digesting food way faster than usual. I've read that this is pretty common when you switch your diet this quickly and that your body usually adapts after a short while. Even though I was cutting weight for the competition at the beginning of the week, I didn't feel more tired or less energetic than usual. When I went running, it felt the same, and my performance in other sports felt pretty much the same as well. For me, this week showed that eating less meat, or maybe just being more conscious about where the food comes from, isn't as hard as I thought that it would be. I'm not saying everyone should become vegan, and I'm not saying that I'm going to become vegan either, but I do think it's healthy to question habits we've been following on autopilot for years. I'll definitely add some of the vegan recipes to my regular diet, and sometimes changing one small thing for a week is just enough to make you see things differently. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.